Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and today we are happy to announce the launch of our Patreon page. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. This is going to be a big shift for us. We are finally getting around to doing this, and yes, we are the first YouTube page ever to get their own Patreon thing. I thought we'd make this video to go ahead and explain why we're doing this, and what the rewards will be, and what's kind of happening here. So we're doing this for 3 reasons. First, it's to basically continue our channel. Second, we want to pay our bills. And third, it'll give us a budget for computer upgrades, other equipment, effects, events, whatever else we might need money for. Now, we're doing this because YouTube's ad revenue only makes so much, and lots of you watch this stuff with ad block anyways. So this is a way you can kind of support us and help us produce our videos. Now, the reason for this is quite simply we're not Comic Storian, we're not Giant, and we only make so much money from doing it. But we like doing it, and we do want to do more of these videos. So Patreon can kind of be a way for us to sort of justify spending more time making these videos. So if you will hear us out, I'm hoping I can kind of walk you through this, and if you would be willing to support our channel, you can find the Patreon link in the video description. Any and all donations will be greatly appreciated and will go a long way to giving you better and more content from us. Now there is one thing I want to say before we get to the goals and rewards. We're not putting any of our videos behind a paywall. I want to make that clear because I don't particularly like the idea of doing that. I want to make our videos open to everyone, regardless of whether or not you donate. If you donate, you get lots of other perks, and you might get to see some extra non-comic related stuff or whatever else we might post on our Patreon page. But I promise you, all of our comic-related videos and content are still going to be available for free on YouTube. The Patreon is a way to support us and to get some extra stuff we'll get into in a second. But by no means am I saying that we're going to put our videos behind some sort of paywall. We're not doing that. I'm against that idea. I just want to make that perfectly clear. So with that in mind, there's 2 streams of rewards people get. First is through our milestone goals, and second is through our direct rewards. So let's go through the milestone goals first. All of this stuff is available on the Patreon page. I'm just going to use this video to kind of go into these things with a little more detail. So, goal the first, $500 per month. So this is kind of the basic level. It shouldn't realistically have that much of a change, but every little bit makes a difference. And as a result, if we hit this first milestone, we'll make a special thank you video. The thank you video choice is a pretty straightforward one, but it's been long awaited, much requested, and that's going to be Crisis of Infinite Earths. A lot of people have been asking for that, and I will totally happily do a complete story if we hit our first goal. Next up is the $1,000 limit. Now this is kind of what we're hoping to get, aiming for. At this level, we're basically going to do what I'm calling full-time Comic Island. Now, keep in mind, part of the reason we're doing this is Joey just had a child. He's got a lot of bills to worry about. And, I still have to pay rent and all of my bills and everything. So we have to work outside of this YouTube stuff. At this level, I'm not too sure about Joey's situation. He'll probably still have to work. But once we get around here, I will treat this as my full-time primary source of income. And the way that I'll pay off for you guys is you can expect guaranteed 1 video per weekday, barring like special circumstances or holidays or anything weird like that. Now it's pretty close to what we do now, but we aren't quite official with being daily, and there are occasionally gaps in our schedule because of that. If we get to this level, we're going to have various mechanisms in place to at the very least you get 5 videos per week, which is pretty good. And from there, as we get in more money and we can kind of budget things out a little more, we can do more than that. We can push our content to being like 7 a week or whatever. The sky's the limit, but at this 1,000 gold, this is what we're prepared to do. Now the final goal is kind of in line with that. It's at $1,500 per month, and it basically means we will start to look into hiring a part-time editor. The reason for that is out of all of this stuff, I can write a lot, I can record a lot, but I can only edit so quickly. That's usually the common roadblock for most YouTube channels, but it's true for us. Editing by far takes the most amount of time. So if we get to the 1500 mark, that's when we can start taking some money aside and using it to pay for part-time editing work. So basically it just means even more content. And it will kind of outsource certain things so that I'm not constantly trying to edit videos. This, in my opinion, is kind of the lofty goal, where it's on the higher end of what we expect. I don't really think we're going to get 1500 right away, but if we do, that's great. Those are our 3 goals for now. If we rush ahead to 1500, that's awesome. You guys are great. I wouldn't put it past you. If we do, we'll create a new set of goals and go from there. I think the next few levels would be just giving our editor more and more money and therefore expecting more and more time until we have like a full-time editor on staff. And then beyond that, well, we'll have to think about it. Like, the more money we get, the more we can devote to doing things. Like, down the road, who knows? Let's move on to the rewards. So our first level is Comic Island Friend. Pledge $1 per month or more and you get basic Patreon access. So you can see most of the posts on our Patreon page. That'll be exclusive content, including but not limited to behind the scenes stuff, written posts, scripts, other content we don't normally release on our channel, and direct access for making your own posts, hanging out with me and Joey, and anything else we might think of. So it's kind of a catch-all basic level entry into our Patreon page, and we'll be posting all sorts of stuff. I have little bloopers from making older videos. I can make little scripts and certain ideas, just whatever comes to mind. It's going to be a fun little way of getting a little bit extra content. This is our lowest level. It's only $1 a month, which really is like pennies on the day. So you only get the basic access, but it is interesting, and if you can only donate $1 a month, hey, that will help us and you will get a little bit of extra stuff from us. So it's a pretty good exchange. So the next level is Comic Island Supporter. Pledge $5 a month and you get to make some weekly input into the ongoing nature of our channel. So what I'm going to do is each week I'm going to look at all the comics coming out this week, take like the most popular ones that are also accessible jumping on points, and I'm going to put them all in a poll. So anyone at this level or higher gets to vote in these polls, and whichever one wins the poll, I'll review that, or Joey will review that issue for that week. So basically these are going to be bonus reviews on top of what we normally do. So for example, let's look at this week. Now obviously we aren't going to do this week because we just launched the Patreon thing, so it'll be for next week. But if we did this week, I'd say, okay, well I can cover Justice League number 8. Joey dropped that, but I'd be happy to pick it up because it's starting a new story arc. The Wicked and Divine number 23, that's starting a new story arc. Green Arrow number 10 is starting a new story. Southern Bastards is starting a new story. Joey will already be covering Death of X. And then there's Unworthy 4 number 1. So I'd kind of give you guys an option between the comics we aren't already reviewing, and you could pick which one you'd want. Now we'll do that every week for anyone who donates at least $5 per month. Doesn't cost you much to do this, and you basically get to have input on a regular basis over what comic we review each week. So that should be a pretty cool one. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this reward tier, because if you can spare the $5, I think I will make it worth your time, and it will be kind of a fun, ongoing activity you get to do. Our next level is Comic Island Contributor. Pledge $15 or more per month and you get basically special credit for your donation. We're going to place everyone at this level or higher in a special pool of people who we will be regularly thanking in each of our videos. Smaller videos, the recaps and reviews and little editorial things, we'll probably just mention a random set of Patreons by text at some point in the video or in the video description. Larger videos, we'll probably do a cool little shout out, so we'll pick someone at random and we'll shout them out by name and say, this is brought to you by Patreon supporters like this guy. It's always going to be chosen at random, and we're just going to consistently do this. So it'll just be a fun way to get, your name out there. And you also get all the $5 and $1 tiers. And past this level is where I find things start really getting interesting. Comic Island Helper Elf is our next level. pledge $25 or more per month and you get prioritized requests. This is an idea Joey and I are kind of excited about. So here's the thing. I've never shown this before, but I have mentioned it. These are all the requests I've gotten over the last 2 years or so I've been doing this. It's really long. There are hundreds of requests I have. Now, to be clear, those aren't any of the ones Joey has, presumably on his own separate list. We get a lot of requests, and honestly, at the speed we make them, well, that's kind of why we're doing the Patreon. We want to be able to make more of these larger projects. But even then, it's going to be a long time before your requests get made. I do record all of them. I try to be really careful about recording every request everyone makes, but it's just inconceivable that I'd have enough time to fulfill everyone's wishes. So, for less than $1 a day, you can make a prioritized request once each month. We'll do everything in our power to make your requests a reality in as short a time as possible. It will depend on the type of request you make. Some videos take longer than others, and we're not sure how many of these prioritized requests we're going to get, but the way we're looking at it is we're hoping that we can turn these around in a month or so, as opposed to if you make a request without Patreon, which will probably take years in some cases. So we're kind of really excited about launching this particular reward tier. I'm hoping we can use that to kind of create some more directed content that people kind of want, and you get to support us while getting to see the videos you like. So I think this is one of our best reward tiers in terms of a direct reward and impact on our channel. Again, it depends on how many requests we get and stuff. Now, if you end up purchasing one of the higher tiers, your request gets that much more power. So if you go up to the next $50 tier, you will have a higher level request over people at the $25 level, and so on and so forth. Our next level is Comic Island Champion. Now for $50 or more, you get access to a special production meeting I'll be holding. It's going to be a very exclusive production meeting, that's why it's so high. It's not going to be like just a Google Hangout, this will be like a Skype call that you're a part of. The way I see it, you're kind of like an unofficial member of the team. You can deliver serious input into the ongoing operations of our channel, and we can talk and hang out too, but by and large, it's going to be an opportunity for you to kind of have a broader impact on the things we do. So yeah, Joey and I will get final say on everything still, but with this level, you get a once a month meeting where you will have a very real, very direct role in the general direction of our channel and its ongoing operation. I think it's a very cool one, and I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so our next reward tier, we have a lot of reward tiers by the way. I just feel that the more you're willing to donate, the more we are willing to do in return. I don't know if anyone's going to be willing to spend $75 or more. It still really is only a few bucks per day, but that is quite a bit. However, you get everything I just mentioned, and something a little cool. Each month I'm going to put together a special package of some comics and collectibles, toys, and accessories, and put that together as a little gift box for you each month. So for example, if anyone signs up this month, I'll be putting together a Doctor Strange kind of box because, you know, the movie's coming up. So that'll include maybe a couple of Doctor Strange issues that have come out recently, maybe a classic TPB, and a couple of like cool little Doctor Strange collectibles. Now, most international viewers should qualify for this, although it might be good to check with us first, depending on where you live. Because if shipping costs are way too high, I might have to say no. It really depends on where you are, so feel free to ask us. If you live in Europe, it's probably okay to get this level. I don't see any problems with that. If you live on the other side of the world from Canada, you might want to talk to me first, because I'm not sure how much that'll cost. I'll have to look into it. You can easily contact us through Twitter or Patreon itself or anything like that. I promise you this tier would be fun. It's still very much a donation. You aren't going to get $75 worth of stuff in these gift boxes, but you are going to get some pretty cool things. I know of ways to get certain products that maybe some of you don't necessarily normally have access to, so I'll make it worth your while. But by and large, this is still going to be a generous donation. Now those are the levels that I consider potentially available for people on a regular basis. The next two are kind of more higher level stuff that we don't really see anyone donating to, but we're going to give you guys the option. So the next level is Comic Island Advertising. Pledge $150 or more per month and you get a free exclusive ad each month. Have your own up-and-coming YouTube channel or social media platform or website, want to promote your business or a charity in a cool way. Or if you're really nice and have a lot of money, we can always just give you a regular personalized shout out. This tier is for people like that. $150 for a video that can potentially get a lot of views is a pretty good deal, and it's just going to be a special customized ad. We'll mention whatever points you want, we'll make it, a couple minutes long at most, and we'll give you some great exposure. Now, we reserve the right to determine whether or not your group is acceptable for advertising. We don't really want to be taking on super political people or weird, sketchy companies or anything like that. I would say 99% of the time, we will happily take on whatever ad or whatever shout out you want us to make. But we reserve the right to say no if it's, weird or controversial. So yeah, this is a higher level. If you're just a fan, it's probably not for you unless you're feeling really generous, but we do want to offer these just for some of the up-and-coming companies that want to get their name out there and that sort of thing. And then the final level is Comic Island Sponsor. Pledge $250 or more per month. Basically, we're going to set up a sponsorship program for these people. So generous donors of this level, and we don't necessarily expect we're getting any, at least not right away, they get all of the above and a souped up version of the advertiser perk. All videos not dedicated to other sponsors or advertisers, or featuring potentially questionable content, will feature shout out and ads for whatever content you want. Now the shorter week-to-week recap and reviews will get this video was brought to you by mention at most, or maybe we'll just have that in the text somewhere. While others, like the bigger videos, will get a full-length, 2-minute ad, usually placed near the end or in the middle of the video. So you can contact us if you're interested. We're still going to jump right to the content, and maybe we'll put it around the reviews. I think that's perfectly reasonable. We aren't going to fill our videos with ads or anything like that. We're just trying to create a situation where we have a more direct line with our audience, and people can directly support us, something you couldn't do before. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Again, honestly, if you can spare it, we could really use your help. It would make a big difference, and I promise that it'll come back to you in terms of the quality that you get in our videos and the amount of videos you get with this further support. Joey and I are quite committed to Comic Island and doing this, and we really want to make it worth your guys' time, and we both agree this is the next natural step for us. Any donation you can make will make a difference. Anything you can do, we will not let you down with it. We're both committed to this, we both want to make the best content we can make, and we both believe this is the way to do it. So again, if you can spare even $1 a month, that's awesome. If you can do more, that's even better. I really appreciate this opportunity. I really appreciate all of you guys. I hope you will consider doing this. Thanks for your consideration. If you have any questions, feel free to field them in the comments section below or through the other million ways you can contact us. And yeah, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.